Today we're broadcasting from Palo Alto, California, in the very heart of the Silicon Valley. Palo Alto has been the birthplace of some of the world's leading technology and life science companies, making Palo Alto the startup capital of the world. Hi there, this is Louis Lehot, and I'm welcoming you to a new edition of our video blog, Ask a Silicon Valley Lawyer. And today we're going to talk about accelerators, incubators, ecobaters, the good, the bad, the ugly, what it costs, how to get in, how to make the most of it. What is an accelerator? What's an incubator? What's an ecobater? The first accelerators were created in the mid-1980s, and the most famous accelerator was created in 2005 called Y Combinator. An incubator really is the same thing, except for it implies that perhaps there's real estate space that comes along with the accelerator program. What's an ecobater? An ecobater is really the same thing as an accelerator, where you get a lot of content and education. You get real estate space like you would in an incubator, but it's done in a cadre of other companies, government organizations, potentially NGOs, potential customers or suppliers, other people doing development, so that you have more of an ecosystem within which to innovate. So what's the big deal about accelerators and incubators? Well, let me tell you. It's harder to get into Y Combinator than it is to get into Harvard or Stanford, believe it or not. So how do you get in? Well, there's a detailed application process. There's an interview. If you get selected for one, doesn't mean you're going to be selected for the other. It's a very big deal. Why is that? Well, some of the best accelerators have produced some of the best companies. Dropbox and Airbnb and SendGrid have all had huge successes, and many of their entrepreneurs will tell you that it's thanks in large part to the great training and education they got in the accelerator program. Should you pick an accelerator program, and why? At last count, there were something like 2,000 accelerator or incubator programs registered with technology and government agencies around the world. Not everyone is right for you. You should pick one that's ideal for the target market that you're trying to attack, your geography, your industry vertical and sub-vertical, and the network of alumni that it has. Some entrepreneur teams, particularly those that have raised money before, exited before, wouldn't really benefit from an accelerator program, and it isn't free. Some accelerator programs will ask you for 7% of the equity in your company and will invest $150,000 for the privilege. If you do the math and you look at the valuation, they're essentially putting a valuation on your company, which you may or may not be okay with. What does it cost to join an accelerator? And what does an accelerator bring you in terms of value? Some accelerators will advertise the cash investment that they make, the services they provide, the alumni network that they provide, and the ecosystem of other companies that you'll be working with. What does it cost? Well, one very famous accelerator will ask for 7% of the equity in your company in exchange for a $150,000 investment. If you do the math there, you'll have the implied valuation of your company, and some are offended by that number, and some think it's great value. Everything depends according to the circumstances, your stage of growth, your experience, and your ability to raise capital. Other accelerators will contribute services rather than cash. And in some circumstances, that can be really valuable. In others, perhaps not. Do your homework. It's a very important choice to make. A lot of startups ask me about the application process. How do you get into one of these accelerators? Well, they all have websites. They all have lists of companies that they've previously graduated from their programs. Reaching out to one of them is a great idea. They typically will ask for a formal written application, which is a form. Usually you'll have to attach an investor presentation, sometimes a video presentation of your PowerPoint. And if you're selected for the next round, you'll be asked to participate in an interview. Usually it's an interview with the leaders of the accelerator program. Sometimes they include alumni. Everyone's trying to pick the very best companies. Finally, some accelerators will ask for references. They could be asking for references from angel investors, your attorneys, your accountants, prior employers. Make sure that you put your best foot forward. So now you've been selected by the accelerator program that best fits your company's industry vertical, geography, and stage of growth. How do you make the best of it? Well, as a famous writer once said, showing up is 80% of success. Make sure that you and your other co-founders attend every meeting. Whether it's in person or virtual, there's an amazing amount of content that you have the opportunity to learn. In addition to the amazing content that hopefully will be imparted to you during these virtual or in-person presentations, you're going to have the opportunity to meet the best and the brightest. Maybe you're still looking for one of your co-founders. Maybe one of your co-founders is loose in the saddle and you meet somebody. This is a great place to meet other co-founders, potential sources of talent, as well as investors and advisors. Each of these accelerator programs also has an amazing alumni network. You want access to that, whether it's other entrepreneurs, investors in those entrepreneurs, talent. This is an amazing hunting ground for you to help grow your startup. Most accelerator programs will finish with a graduation, and that graduation is usually a demo day, which is a big event where investors and technologists and other members of the ecosystem that you're a part of are invited to come and see the graduates of the accelerator program. And you'll probably have the opportunity to give a 5, 10, or 30-minute pitch of your company and then mingle with them for the day. So it's a great chance to find investors for your company. One of the very best advantages of an accelerator or incubator program is the alumni network. After the graduation, after the demo day, you're going to have access to that database of contacts, whether it's other entrepreneurs, founders, or investors. And the organizers of the accelerator will likely be very incentivized to see you successful, and they're going to help make introductions, warm introductions, network your way into getting in front of the very best investors. If you have any questions about joining an accelerator or incubator program, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm Louis Lehot, the founder of L2 Counsel, and you can find me on the internet at l2counsel.com. Thanks for joining.